Okay, recording.
Hi, we're group 20, and we're presenting Pope Paul III with Alessandro and Octavio Farnese. The painting is by Titian, and I'm Nipunjit Kajral.
I'm Haley Bradford.
My name is Van Lee.
And to start off our presentation, Van Lee will be presenting.
The artist of this painting is named Titian, otherwise known as Tiziano Vicelli. He was an Italian Renaissance painter born in 1485, and he died in the year 1576. He lived in Italy his entire lifetime and was born in Pieve di Cadore in Italy. He was an extremely versatile painter, and he painted portraits, landscape backgrounds, mythological and religious subjects. This painting was commissioned by the Farnese family in 1546 as a show of power and character. Other famous paintings include Nymph and Shepherd, Allegory of Prudence, and Jacopo Strada. This is a portrait of Titian, and these are some of his other works. The first one on the left being Nymph and Shepherd, painted between the years 1570 and 1575. The middle painting is Allegory of Prudence, painted between 1575 and 75. And the one on the far right is Jacopo Strada, painted in the year 1566.
The title of the work is Paul III with Alessandro and Ottavio Farnese, and the subject is Pope Paul III and his grandsons. Alessandro is standing behind Pope Paul III and is wearing a cardinal's dress. Ottavio is the man kneeling toward Pope Paul on the far right of the picture. The subject is easily recognizable because the three men are in focus in the foreground and there is not much going on in the background. Pope Paul III commissioned Titian to paint this picture, and it was created during Titian's visit to Rome in 1546.
Date. This painting was created in 1546, and it was during the era of the Italian Renaissance. Titian was known to be one of the greatest Renaissance painters of his time, and his application of color played a profound influence in later Renaissance artists. It was also during the papacy of Pope John Paul between the years 1534 and 1549.
The picture of Pope Paul III with Alessandro and Ottavio Farnese is an oil painting on canvas. As found in the glossary, oil painting is pigment bound together with a medium, which is usually linseed oil. Oil paint has the advantage over tempera of being slow to dry and therefore is reworkable. It can be applied with a brush or a palette knife, generally onto a stretched canvas through primed wooden panels that were used in earlier periods. Its invention is usually credited to Jan van Eyck in the 15th century. Oil painting on canvas has continued to be a favored choice of painters because of its long-lasting color and a variety of approaches and methods. For this specific picture, the material and medium do not matter to the subject of the work.
The painting is 202 centimeters by 176 centimeters. This rather grand painting is reflective of the wealth of the patrons, who are also the men in the picture and members of the Farnese family. The painting was commissioned in 1544, but left unfinished in 1546. You can probably see the unfinished marks through the Pope's missing right hand and the non-congruent strokes in the Pope's fur sleeves. The painting was probably unfinished due to a fallout between the patron and the painters. Through X-ray scans, we can see that Alessandro, the figure on the left, was actually moved closer to the Pope. His right hand was also moved such that it also grabs the throne, which alludes to Alessandro either wanting the throne directly for himself or the Farnese family wanting to keep the papacy. This after the painting was left unfinished in 1546, it was left in the Furness family estate cellar for 100 years. It was unseen by the public and unseen by the family. After about 100 years, the painting was refound and placed in the Furness family estate house. By 1857, the painting was then placed in the Capodimonte Museum in Naples, Italy. But then it had gained appreciation for the colors that Titian had used. The Pope has extremely red royal colors. Also, the desk and the clothing of Alessandro allude to more aristocratic Pope-like demeanors and status symbols. Also, Titian uses a very unique method of layering the colors, such that the reddish-brownish hue in the background is obtained, especially with the curtain. And interestingly enough, the Pope is the centerpiece of the painting, but he's also the smallest figure of the painting, alluding to his age at that time, which was about 81 years old. Also alluding to the Pope's potential death, is the clock placed on the desk next to the Pope. Rather unconventional for this time. Titian also used strong textures for his painting. This was unconventional, considering that the usual painting was of a smooth surface. All these things culminated together to form a value in this painting that was later, such that it was later displayed in the Capodimonte Museum in Naples, Italy. This concludes Group 20's presentation.